Is it possible to turn $280 into $730 in just 5 minutes? Well, that's what I'm going to do today, putting the ride or die, possibly the best roulette strategy to win big and fast, to the ultimate test. We're going all in on fast plays, bold moves, and aggressive doubling when it counts. Can this strategy actually beat the odds? Let's find out. Welcome to Ninja Gamblers, where you'll learn the smartest strategies for roulette, blackjack, and more. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay ahead of the game and boost your chances of winning big. If you want to take your roulette skills to the next level, grab our Roulette Mastery Playbook. It's our complete guide to beating roulette like a pro. You'll find it linked in the description and the first comment below. Finally, don't forget to join our Telegram channel for exclusive content we don't share on YouTube. Links below too. Alright guys, let's play some ride or die. I'm playing on an Italian casino with euros in this session, but don't worry, this works the same way no matter the currency or country. Just a quick reminder, to avoid scams and make sure strategies like this are actually allowed, always play on legal, verified platforms that guarantee fair games and real payouts. You'll find a full list of trusted casinos by country linked on the screen, in the description and in the pinned comment. I'm starting with a balance of just 250 euros, around $280. Let's see how far I can push it in just a few minutes. If you haven't seen the video where I break down the ride or die system step by step, I'll link it up here in the top right corner. Today, I'll be jumping straight into the gameplay without going too deep into the strategy details. Alright. We start as always with the usual $5, well, euros in this case, on the first dozen. Let's spin and see what happens. Win! That's 15 euros, and as always, I'm rebetting those 15 euros on the second dozen. So I'm mostly using the casino's money here, and if I lose, I only lose my original 5. Let's go. Haha, lost. So technically, I've only lost the 5 euros I started with. The rest was basically a gift from the casino. That's the whole idea of the ride or die system. Now, every time you lose, you just reset. So, back to 5 euros on the first dozen. Won again. Now we go with 15 euros on the second dozen. And lost. So 5 euros down and back to square one. First dozen again with 5 euros. Basically, every spin only risks $5. Lost again. So we keep going with the same bet, again and again until we win. Finally. Alright, 15 euros now on the second dozen. And win. Perfect. Those 15 just became 45 euros. What do we do now? Of course, we go all in with those 45 euros on the third dozen. If we win this, we're looking at a big jump. But hey, only a 1/3 chance to hit. Let's go. And win! That's 135 euros from 45. That one spin just covered all the small 5 euro losses before, and that's exactly what this strategy is designed to do. But the cycle's not over yet. We lock in 100 euros. That's ours now. And we place 35 euros on the first dozen. If we win here, the cycle is fully complete. By the way, I've heard people put those final 35 on a straight up number instead. Definitely not recommended. Alright, we lost. Normally, at this point, the method says take the loss. Just 35 euros, since we saved 100 and reset. But not today. Today we're going full aggressive. We're going for the double ride or die, doubling every time until we win. That means we're risking more than just the initial 5 euros, but if we hit, we recover the 35 and walk away with serious profit. Let's do it. And it's a win! 210 euros, minus the 70 I bet and the 35 we recovered. That's 105 euros of pure extra profit, just from doubling down. That's the power of using martingale on a 2-to-1 payout. You can win big. But remember, the risk is way higher. We only have about a 32% chance of hitting, so it's easy to burn through a long chain of doubling. That's why, if you're playing the double or die variation, you absolutely need to set a stop loss. By the way, remember that this is only one part of a much bigger system. No single strategy works forever. The real edge comes from knowing when to switch, how to manage risk, and how to adapt. That's exactly why we created the Roulette Mastery Playbook. It's not just a list of strategies, it's the full framework pro players use to manage their bankroll, rotate systems, and build long-term consistency. It brings everything we teach together into one clear, structured guide, including tactics we've never shared on YouTube. You'll find it linked right here on the screen and also in the description and the pinned comment below. Anyway, we're now sitting at a solid €455 balance, and since we technically closed the cycle, even if a bit forcefully, we reset with €5 on the first dozen. And here come the losses again. We keep spinning until we hit. Alright, win. Now we go with €15 on the second dozen. Never mind, lost again. So back to €5 on the first dozen. So yeah, if you've been watching our videos for a while, you already know this. Not all casinos are safe. Many are unlicensed, rigged, or based in shady tax havens. That's how people lose their money, blocked withdrawals, vanished balances, and unfair games. Also, many casinos don't allow certain strategies like this and can block your account. So we've put together an updated list of safe, legal, and licensed casinos by country, including sweepstakes options for US states. And we tested that they all allow these strategies. It's linked right here on the screen, in the description, and in the pinned comment. Alright, now let me answer a question you guys keep asking. Why not just go double or die from the very first spin? In other words, double every time you lose, even starting from the first €5 bet. Well, let's try it. We start with the usual €5 on the first dozen. Lost. Perfect. Time to double. €10. Lost again. Okay, double it again. €20. Win. That gives us €60 total. After subtracting the previous losses, that's a €25 profit. Not bad, but honestly, it's not that impressive. And more importantly, did you see how risky that was from the start? Jumping into aggressive doubling right away just isn't worth it in my opinion. Usually, the best spots to double are later in the cycle, like the third round with 45 on the third dozen, or the fourth with 35 on the first dozen. Doing it in the early stages? Way too risky for the reward. That's how I see it, but of course, you do you. Anyway, now that we won, even with a double, we continue as normal. €15 on the second dozen. Win. So now we go 45 on the third dozen. This is the point where doubling would actually make sense. But we don't need to, it's a win. Now we go with €35 on the first dozen. If this hits, the cycle is complete. Lost. But like I said earlier, this is the moment where doubling actually makes sense. So let's do it. And it's a win. Final result. Balance is now at €660, which is about $730. That's a $450 profit, all in under 5 minutes. Obviously, these wins aren't guaranteed. Results can vary every time you play. Like I've said before, the ride or die system on its own isn't super risky. You only ever lose €5 per round. But when you start doubling with double or die, then you're entering classic martingale territory. If you don't have a stop loss, you could blow your entire balance with a few unlucky spins. And since we're betting on outcomes with only a 32% win rate, not 48% like red or black, the risk is definitely real. Still, the reward potential, pretty wild. What do you think of this strategy? Let us know in the comments. We try to reply to everyone. If you want to take your game to the next level, grab our Roulette Mastery Playbook. It's the full system pro players use to manage risk, rotate strategies, and build long-term consistency. You'll find it linked right here on the screen, and also in the description and pinned comment. And don't forget, only play on safe, legal casinos that actually pay out, don't rig the games, and allow these strategies. We've listed the best ones organized by country and US state, also linked on screen and below. If you got value from this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join our Telegram for exclusive content that never makes it to YouTube. Thanks for watching, see you next time ninjas.